If you've ever met a golden retriever, you know they have this magical way of making you laugh one second and tugging at your heart the next. They're like that friend who's a little clumsy, totally obsessed with everyone, and somehow knows exactly when you need a cuddle. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's talk about the habits of golden retrievers that will make you laugh and maybe shed a tear or two. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be smiling like a fool just thinking about them. Habit 1. The endless tail wag. Let's start with the most obvious habit, the wagging tail. Golden retrievers wag their tails like it's their superpower. And when I say wag, I mean it's a full body operation. Their entire back half gets involved. Sometimes it's so strong that if they're standing near a table, your snacks don't stand a chance. And here's the funny part. They wag their tail at everything. You walk into the room, tail wag. You blink at them, tail wag. Even when they're asleep, if they dream about chasing squirrels, that tail starts moving like crazy. It's impossible not to laugh because it's like their happiness just explodes out of their back end. But here's the tearjerker part. That tail wag isn't just silly. It's pure love. They're telling you without saying a word, I'm so happy you're here, I love you, and nothing else matters. That's the thing with Goldens. Their joy is contagious, and it's impossible not to feel it in your heart. Habit 2. The steal your heart look. Golden retrievers have a way of looking at you that's, well, it's unfair. One moment you're mad at them for chewing your favorite shoe, and the next they give you those big, soft, soulful eyes and you just melt. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like they have a built-in guilt button that you can't resist. What makes it funny is how predictable they are. They'll do something completely ridiculous, like knocking over your water glass or trying to carry an oversized stick through a doorway. And the moment you start to get upset, bam, that look hits you. Suddenly, your anger evaporates. That's the golden retriever strategy. Break stuff, then apologize with eyes that speak louder than words.
But here's the crying part. Those eyes aren't just for tricks. Golden retrievers genuinely feel emotions deeply. They sense when you're sad, anxious, or tired, and they'll come sit next to you, leaning their head on your lap and just be there. Their empathy is almost human, and it's one of the reasons you can't help but love them forever. Habit 3. The obsessed with people habit. Golden retrievers are people obsessed. They don't care if you just met them or if you've been living with them for years. They will treat you like you are the most important person in the world. And here's the hilarious part. They have zero concept of personal space. You're on the couch trying to eat popcorn, they'll sit on your feet. You're trying to read a book, they'll flop on your lap. You go to the bathroom, yep, they'll follow. And the funniest is when they try to join in whatever you're doing. Cooking dinner, Golden Retriever wants to taste test everything. Watching TV, they need to know what every show is about. But this habit has a heart-melting side too. In a world where everyone is busy and distracted, Golden Retrievers remind you to slow down and enjoy the moment. Their love is constant, pure, and unconditional. When they stare at you with excitement just because you came home from work, it hits different. It's the kind of love that makes you realize how lucky we are to share our lives with them. Habit 4. The playful clumsiness. Now let's talk about their infamous clumsiness. Golden retrievers are athletic and strong, but sometimes grace is not their strong suit. Watching a golden retriever try to navigate stairs after spinning around in excitement is like watching a cartoon come to life. They slip, slide, and occasionally crash into walls, but they get up with this look that says, "Did I do something wrong, or was that just hilarious?" The laughter comes easily when they get themselves into these tiny messes. You'll be chasing them around the house, laughing and shaking your head at their antics. But the crying part? Sometimes their clumsiness leads to little injuries, and you feel that pang in your heart. You worry, you care, and that's when you realize just how much their happiness matters to you. Habit 5. The forever puppy syndrome. One of the cutest habits of golden retrievers is that no matter how old they get, they always act like puppies. Even as they mature, there's a part of them that still zooms around the yard like a ball of pure energy. They'll roll in the grass, chase after leaves, and get ridiculously excited over the simplest things. And it's funny because no matter how many times they've seen the same toy, they act like it's brand new every single time. You throw a ball, and it's like they've never experienced joy before. That innocence is hilarious and heartwarming all at once. The tear-worthy part is knowing that life is short, but their spirit stays playful till the very end. They remind us to enjoy every little thing, to laugh a lot, and to never lose our curiosity or excitement. Habit 6. The food is life obsession. Golden retrievers are famous for their love of food. And I don't mean casual snacking. I mean a full-blown, intense, I will do anything for food kind of obsession. You drop a crumb, they're there in a flash. Cooking dinner, they're your most loyal taste tester, ready for any opportunity to get a nibble. What's hilarious is their persistence. You try to ignore them, they'll stare. You step away, they'll follow. You try to bribe them with a treat, they're already one step ahead, giving you the classic guilty but hopeful look. It's impossible not to laugh at how seriously they take food. The sadder side? Sometimes this obsession can lead to overeating or begging habits that are hard to manage. But even that struggle comes with love because you know they're just trying to enjoy life the way they know how, with enthusiasm, hunger, and joy. Habit 7. The helper that makes everything messier. Golden retrievers love to help, but their idea of helping is, let's say, creative. You're folding laundry and suddenly they're right there, pulling clothes out of the basket, thinking they're assisting. You're gardening and they're digging holes next to your carefully planted flowers, convinced they're improving the soil. It's funny because their intentions are pure, but the results? Usually a disaster. You can't help but laugh at the chaos they create while trying to be helpful. And if you get frustrated, they just tilt their head and give you the look that says, "I'm helping. Aren't you proud?" The tear-inducing part is that their desire to help is tied to love. They want to be close to you, be part of your life, and show you that they care. Even if it means ruining a perfectly folded pile of laundry, it's their way of saying, "I'm here, I love you, and I want to be involved in everything you do." Habit 8. The water obsession. If there's one thing golden retrievers are legendary for, it's water. Lakes, ponds, puddles, sprinklers. They'll jump into anything that even slightly resembles a watery adventure. And the funny part is their sheer joy. Watching a golden retriever splash around like a kid on summer vacation is guaranteed to make you laugh. But here's the hilarious twist. They don't always have the best aim. Sometimes they end up soaking you, the furniture, or even your clean laundry. And yet they're completely unapologetic because in their minds, water equals happiness, and happiness is mandatory. The tear-worthy side is their love for water reminds us to embrace simple joys. They don't need fancy toys or treats, just a bit of wet fun and a chance to be themselves. And in a way, it teaches us to find happiness in the little things too. Habit 9. The Velcro dog. Golden retrievers are sometimes called Velcro dogs because they stick to their humans like glue. You can't even leave the room without them following. And when you try to sneak off, they appear like magic, sitting in the doorway or peeking around corners. It's funny because it's relentless. They're like little shadows, but instead of being spooky, they're ridiculously adorable. You can't move without tripping over them, and yet somehow you love every second of it. The emotional side is huge. Velcro dogs are constantly reminding you that you are loved, that someone is always rooting for you, and that companionship is one of life's best gifts. It's almost impossible to feel lonely with a golden retriever in the house. Habit 10. The zoomies. Chaos with a heart. Yes, the infamous zoomies. If you don't know, zoomies are those moments when a golden retriever suddenly bursts into full-speed chaos, running in circles, leaping over furniture, and generally looking like a furry tornado. It's hilarious because you never know when it will happen. One second, they're lying on the floor, and the next, they're tearing through the living room like it's an obstacle course designed by them. You might think it's annoying, but really, it's pure joy in motion. The tear-jerker side?
Zoomies are a reminder of their pure, unfiltered happiness. They live entirely in the moment, without worry or hesitation. Watching them embrace life so fully can actually make you reflect on how much fun it is to let go and enjoy yourself too. Habit 11, the cuddle enthusiasts. Golden retrievers are professional cuddlers. They don't just cuddle, they commit. You sit on the couch, they're on you. Lying on the bed, they're on top of you, in the blanket, stealing your pillow. And somehow, even when they're large and heavy, it's impossible to be annoyed because their warmth and love are so comforting. It's almost impossible to be annoyed because their warmth and love are so comforting. The funny part, they often choose the most inconvenient times. You're trying to work, eat, or even go to the bathroom, and suddenly you have a snuggle monster glued to you. It's hard not to laugh, and honestly, it's hard to move. The emotional side is undeniable. Their cuddles aren't just about warmth, they're about connection. They instinctively know when you need comfort, and they offer it freely, without asking for anything in return. It's a quiet, beautiful kind of love.
Habit 12, the toy hoarders. Golden retrievers love toys, but not in a casual, I'll play with this for a while way. No, they love toys with a passion, and they often collect them like tiny treasure hoarders. One minute you see one ball on the floor, and the next you've got a pile of toys that somehow appeared from nowhere. It's funny because they have favorites, but insist on bringing every toy at once. They'll drop them at your feet, stare at you with anticipation, and then get confused when you don't throw all 10 at once. The heartwarming side? Their toy obsession is just another form of joy. Every squeak, every toss, every chase is their way of celebrating life and wanting to share happiness with you. Watching them play with pure delight is contagious, and it reminds you to find happiness in simple pleasures. Habit 13, the emotional detectives. One of the most incredible habits of golden retrievers is their emotional intelligence. They sense moods, feelings, and tension like little furry therapists. Sad day? They sit with you, nuzzle you, and silently offer comfort. Excited? They bounce around, matching your energy. It's funny at times, too. They sometimes overreact to small things like sniffing your groceries like it's a national emergency, or responding dramatically to a single sneeze. But it's this exaggerated empathy that makes them so lovable. The tearful part? Their ability to sense your emotions and respond with love is extraordinary. They teach us empathy in the most beautiful way, without judgment, without words, just pure presence. In a lonely or difficult moment, a golden retriever can be the best medicine you never knew you needed. Habit 14, the mischievous smiles. Golden retrievers have a knack for getting into mischief while somehow looking innocent the whole time. Chewed shoes, knocked over trash cans, stolen sandwiches. They do it all with a smile. And it's impossible not to laugh at their cleverness, especially when they act as if nothing happened. But behind those mischievous smiles is a loving heart. They rarely do anything to hurt you. They're just exploring the world with curiosity, energy, and a touch of humor. Every mess comes with a lesson in patience and a reminder of their playful spirit. Habit 15, the stubborn but lovable moments. Golden retrievers are known for their sweet and obedient nature, but don't be fooled, they have a stubborn streak. Sometimes, no matter how many treats you offer, commands you give, or puppy eyes you use, they just don't comply. And here's where the humor comes in. Their stubbornness is never mean-spirited. They'll plop down in the middle of a hallway, stare at you with total confidence, and basically say, "Nope, not today." It's hard not to laugh at their boldness because they do it with such charm. The tear-inducing side? Their stubborn moments remind us that dogs, like humans, have personalities and moods. Golden retrievers show us that it's okay to be yourself, to have quirks, and that love isn't about perfection. It's about connection and acceptance. Habit 16, the funny noises.
If you've ever lived with a golden retriever, you know they can be surprisingly vocal. From goofy grunts to excited snorts, they have a whole repertoire of sounds that make you laugh every single day. Sometimes they snore like tiny trucks, sometimes they sigh dramatically when you leave the room, and sometimes they even talk back to you in their own way. It's impossible not to giggle at how expressive they are. But here's the emotional side. Those noises are part of their communication, their way of letting you know how they feel. Whether it's joy, excitement, or mild frustration, every grunt or snuffle is a reminder that they're fully present in your life. And that presence, that's love in its purest form.
Habit 17, the fetch obsession.
Golden retrievers were basically born to fetch. Balls, sticks, frisbees, you name it, they'll chase it. And the hilarious part is that they can do it for hours. You throw the ball once, they bring it back, you throw it again, and they repeat the process with unwavering determination and enthusiasm. Sometimes it gets funny when they miscalculate jumps or toss the ball into impossible spots. You can't help but laugh at their persistence and slightly chaotic energy. The tear-worthy side is that their obsession with fetch is more than just play. It's about bonding, shared joy, and the simple thrill of being with someone they love. Every toss, every run, every joyful leap is a little celebration of life, and they invite you to join them.
Habit 20, the squirrel obsession. Ah, yes, the classic golden retriever squirrel chase. It doesn't matter if you're in your backyard, at the park, or just walking down the street. If a squirrel appears, you've got a full-blown pursuit on your hands. What's funny is how seriously they take it. They'll crouch, stalk, sprint, and sometimes crash into things while following a tiny squirrel, acting as if it's the most important mission in the world. And honestly, it's impossible not to laugh at their intensity. The tear-worthy side, their obsession shows their playful spirit, curiosity, and joy in the small things. They remind us that life is full of tiny adventures, and sometimes it's okay to get a little carried away with excitement. Habit 21, the emotional healing habit. Golden retrievers have a magical ability to sense sadness, stress, or anxiety. They'll sit with you, nuzzle you, or just lie quietly beside you, offering silent comfort. You don't even need to ask, they just know. This habit is incredibly emotional. You can be having the worst day, feeling invisible or overwhelmed, and a golden retriever will be there, reminding you that you are loved and not alone. It's the kind of empathy and understanding that words can't capture, and it's one of the most powerful things about these dogs. Habit 22, the silly sleep positions. Golden retrievers don't just sleep, they sleep in the most ridiculous and daring positions imaginable. Legs in the air, head hanging off the couch, body twisted like a pretzel, they somehow manage to make it look cute no matter what. It's funny because you can't figure out how they're comfortable, but apparently they are. And watching them sleep so peacefully, completely trusting and relaxed, always brings a smile.
The emotional side? Their peaceful sleep is a reminder of trust and safety. Golden retrievers teach us that it's okay to let go, relax, and trust the world a little, especially with someone you love by your side. Golden retrievers are a mix of joy, chaos, love, and empathy. They'll make you laugh with their clumsy antics, ridiculous energy, and obsession with food or fetch. And they'll make you cry, or at least feel deeply, with their loyalty, empathy, and unconditional love. Every tail wag, every soulful glance, every nuzzle and cuddle is a reminder that life is better when shared with someone who loves you as fully and completely as a golden retriever does. They remind us to find joy in little things, to love without conditions, and to embrace life with curiosity, playfulness, and heart. So if you're lucky enough to have a golden retriever in your life, or even just get to watch one on YouTube, remember this. They're not just pets. They're tiny comedians, therapists,
cuddle machines, and lifelong friends wrapped into one golden furry package. Thank you for joining us through all 3 parts of this adventure into the habits of golden retrievers. If you laughed, cried, or just felt your heart melt a little, hit that like button, subscribe for more heartwarming content, and share your own golden retriever stories in the comments. Because honestly, we could all use a little more laughter, love, and golden retriever magic in our lives.